Depending on who you ask, the Line, a 170-kilometer long and 500-meter high linear city, either represents the cutting edge of architecture or a bleak dystopian future. Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi Arabian crown prince, first revealed plans for the Line, a futuristic-looking city, in 2021. But what precisely is the Line, and what does it reveal about contemporary cities? We'll talk about it today, so stick around until the end. And make sure to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. The Line is a component of NEOM, the kingdom's brand new 26,000 square kilometer long mega development that will help the country grow. The Line is advertised as a cutting-edge eco-city north of the Red Sea with no streets, cars, or carbon emissions. According to the Saudi government, housing will be built for over 9 million people. Additionally, allegedly leaked documents include proposals for pretty much everything from the Jetsons, including robot maids, a man-made moon, flying cars, and more. Prior to anything else, it is a significant and outstanding PR and marketing effort. The goal is not to make an impression. Being awesome literally is what we're going for, right? Hey, we're the center of the built-in innovation world right now. The most important question isn't when or how, but why, and why do we have to build such a city? Why is that kind of project requiring the deployment of those resources? Why must the city have that appearance? The entire NEOM development is intended to become so autonomous that it is being referred to as a country within a country, whose citizens will ostensibly be referred to as NEOMians rather than Saudis. It's no secret that Saudi Arabia has been working to reinvent itself on the global stage and looks to the UAE as a model for a post-oil economy. Furthermore, it covers fanciful mega projects. It has been incorporated into the Saudi Arabian Vision 2030 plan, which essentially states that Saudi Arabia will look very different by the end of this decade. It won't be an oil-dependent kingdom any longer, and a significant part of that plan involves real estate. The first time we actually saw a linear city outside of science fiction films was in July of 2022, and it was unlike anything we had ever seen before. In essence, the city would be positioned between two enormous structures that rise 500 meters into the air and extend 170 kilometers into the desert. They would undoubtedly be the biggest buildings ever built as a result. In order to have as little impact as possible on the surroundings, the buildings would be mirror images of one another. The city would be located in the 200-meter chasm between the skyscrapers. Residents won't need cars or roads because a high-speed rail line will connect them from end to end in 20 minutes. Every amenity will be within a 5-minute walk thanks to the construction of homes, public parks, schools, and offices on top of one another. Parks and natural areas will also be easily accessible from anywhere in the city in just a 2-minute stroll. This completely explodes the notion of the 15-minute city. A far cry from the urban sprawl of contemporary cities, which have grown to the size of small countries, NEOM claims that the entire city will be powered by renewable energy, and that its small physical footprint will ensure that 95% of the development's land will be preserved as is. Even if you look at the history of recent capitals that were completely rebuilt, sprawl still exists and actually starts to form, while the city is still being built. As a result, if we look at Brasilia today, there are roughly, and we're using Brasilia as an example because it has a lovely and constrained pilot plan. There are about 3 million residents there, most of whom reside in the sprawl that developed around the pilot plan. But aside from the trailer and the glitzy renderings, very little is actually known about the city. We do know that the first residents are expected to move in by 2030, and that initial earthworks started in October 2021. Apart from that, the questions that this project raises are largely what define it, and there are numerous inquiries. Can you even construct something similar? Can a city exist without automobiles? Without any roads or streets? What if you could walk to anything you needed in just 5 minutes? Could we live in a highly planned city without affecting the environment? Is it a good idea to place a massive mirror in the middle of an Arabian desert? Would a high-speed rail system be practical for shorter trips like this? How would the city change in the future? Due to the fact that some of it presents sort of raw engineering challenges, even the most accomplished engineers in the world are currently at a loss as to what to believe. To account for the curvature of the Earth, they must devise a way to have a break in the structure. These are not issues that any contemporary structure has ever encountered, right? Even though the line may not look exactly as it does in the renderings right now, possible that in the future we'll see a more condensed version of it. The entire idea sort of falls apart. In the end, you're making a dot rather than a line, as you might have expected. Therefore, if during the development of NEOM, since real money is being invested in this project, we discover new advancements in structural engineering, new discoveries in sustainability, and we discover a way to apply technology to the built environment at a scale that we haven't before. Strangely, many of the ideas presented here aren't entirely original. A linear city, for example, has been imagined before, but not as a utopia, but rather as a warning. In 1969, the Italian architecture collective Super Studio produced the Continuous Movement, a collection of collages showing enormous blocks encircling the globe and cutting through cities, mountains, and valleys, much like the line does. These powerful pieces of art were created to express criticism of mass urbanization and ruthless, cold architecture. The idea of the line is not new from an architectural standpoint. We believe it has roots, and very deep roots at that. The main distinction for us is how heavily this city will rely on immature technologies. In terms of other parts of the city, some of it might not be as unbelievable as you might think. Cities are already implementing changes to prioritize walkability and remove automobiles from the road. Programs that allow for remote building control and digital twins of entire cities are available. And NEOM isn't the only idea for a smart city. In 2020, Bark Ingles Group made news by announcing the Woven City, which would be constructed close to Fujiyama, Japan. With driverless cars and AI systems, it envisions a fully autonomous future. Telosa, an idealized version for a new American city, and Egypt's new smart city, which is being constructed close to Cairo. All of these initiatives have received criticism, and none of them are perfect. Nevertheless, it might be worthwhile to reconsider how our cities are organized. Our contemporary metropolises don't work for everyone right now. More than 1 million UK citizens live in food deserts, which are areas with little access to affordable fresh food. 1 in every 52 people in London is homeless. According to a report from Groundwork UK, there are significant disparities in the country's access to parks and green spaces, with 40% of residents from racial and ethnic minorities living in areas with the fewest green spaces. We need to improve city operations. And if everyone has access to it, having everything you need within a 5-minute walk could actually help to lessen some of these inequalities. What we appreciate about a risk-taking project like the Line is its capacity to spark discussion and force us to reconsider what a city should look like. The Line is a fairly daring concept. That's how it should be. But if we want to improve the built environment, perhaps we need bold solutions? Perhaps not all of the Saudi kingdom's wishes will be fulfilled, like a man-made moon and flying cars, for instance. However, achieving more efficiently run cities with access to amenities and nature may not be too far off. That ends today's video. Please leave a comment below to let us know what you liked about this video. Like and share this video to stay up to date on all the amazing stories, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Bye.